Alright, we have moved on to the brakes on this 76 Corvette. Let me show you guys some crazy stuff. So first, look at this. This car's been sitting so long, there's fungus that's growing out of the sway bar bushings. I've never seen that. Anyway, here is the brake rotor. It has rust on it, but it feels pretty good. Oh, we're leaking brake fluid. Let's get a thing. Really? I put it down right as it stopped dripping? Okay, one drip. I thought I was good. Because there's nothing in the master cylinder. Well, we'll be prepared for the next one. Check out these calipers. These are some gnarly calipers. So, the main reason why these brakes don't last is because they're called what they call lip seal style calipers. So, the pistons inside the calipers have lip seals in them which corrode over time. The pistons are a different metal than the caliper themselves, and it turns into stuff like this, and it just, all the brake fluid leaks out. We have brand new calipers from Lone Star Caliper which are O-ring design, which are different, and these can sit for years and never leak, so I love these, but we'll put those in the core bin because those aren't worth anything. All the old stuff is taken off of a 76 Vet, and it's time to basically prep these calipers to go on. So they've already been painted by Lone Star, which is good. But what we need to do is install these pads. I got some pads from Advanced Auto, and you want to put the grease stuff in between the back of the pads and the piston caliper, the caliper pistons. And I also like to add just a little bit of grease on each edge right here, here, and here, here, and here, just because the pad sometimes does ride there, so a little less chance for it to squeak. But I used to put this stuff all over the back of the pads, but I feel like I was wasting a bunch because the only part that really touches the pad is going to be the lips on the calipers. So and there's no real such thing as too much, so you can put a decent amount on there. Most of it goes away anyway. I don't feel like that stuff ever stays for very long. Alright, now we gotta put, remember, the backing plate toward the pistons. For some reason, this reminds me of a post I saw. There was a car at SEMA. I don't remember what it was. I think it was a C7 Corvette, maybe C8. And it had the brake pads on backwards. They just threw it together for the show. Don't do that. It's never good. Alright, then the pads are ready to go. I kind of like to squish them in their bores a little bit. You're going to have to do that when you put the caliper on the car. I'll take this out. I'll flip it over. The front caliper is unique where they need the brake hoses installed before you install the caliper onto the car. So we'll do that right now. See, you got some stainless steel braided brake hose. This is what the OEM brake hoses are going to look like, so you want to make sure they're the same length, or at least a little longer, and at the ends are the same. So they should work, but he decided to upgrade. Make sure you use the copper washer. It's usually included with new brake hoses and stuff like that. And once you get it snug, you need to crush the copper washer. About a quarter turn extra is about all I ever do. So that is now ready to go in the car. When you install the caliper, make sure you run this brake hose in between the spring and the steering knuckle first. And then you're going to take After that, you want to take these brake pads and kind of spread them open with your fingers. And you put the caliper on like so. You kind of shimmy it in place. Just like that. So this sits a little bit above the rotor and above the bracket, so when you put the bolts in the back, kind of, wiggle it around till you get them in, and then attach the caliper and attach the brake line, and the front is done. Moving on to the back brakes, it's a little different than the front. First of all, the rubber line, which is going to be stainless steel, actually connects the frame to the trailing arm here, and you want to attach this end first as tight as you can, and then this one will come up and attach inside this bracket. After you get that one connected, this turns into a metal line kind of similar to what runs along the frame, which then will run down the trailing arm and it'll attach to the caliper here in the back. And then you mount the caliper on just like the fronts, and you're pretty much good to go. It's not too hard of a job. My wife declined to be on camera, but the brakes are now bled. We can put the wheels back on and we can go for a very short drive. The cooling system I don't trust at all. It's got this really goofy fan setup. It's got one big one that's supposed to come on when the engine gets hot, and it also has this little one that comes on with a switch. Weird. But anyway, all that stuff's got to go. I don't trust it, so we'll do a short drive. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but he's got a bad brake booster. Hear that hiss? And you hear how the engine kind of idles funny whenever I push it on the brakes? See how it changes idle? So we're gonna have to replace that. That's gonna suck.